Welcome back to the Cakers channel. This night, well, it's nighttime now. Thank you so much for joining wherever you're joining from. I really appreciate. If you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you are following and just go ahead and check out a few of my YouTube videos. I do a lot of cake baking and decorating tutorials here on YouTube. Remember, you can always ask your questions underneath any of my videos. Every Friday, I will be doing a question and answer session here on YouTube to answer all of the frequently asked questions, okay? I'm going to get everything ready to fill, stack, and crumb coat some delicious cakes. Ta-da. Everything is ready. So, welcome. I'm also live on TikTok. So I just connected my TikTok live. We're going to be filling, stacking, and crumb coating these delicious cakes, all right? Let me just, I almost pulled over my camera. Can you believe that? I almost pulled over. All right, so everybody is seeing clearly. Welcome back. This is my buttercream. As you all know, I make my buttercream in advance. I keep it in the freezer. I'm going to go ahead now, pop it in the microwave for like 10 seconds just to soften it up a bit, okay? So that's going in the microwave for 10 seconds. This one, I didn't take it out of the freezer in time. The plan was to actually make some buttercream today. So I need to take this one out. It's a bit frozen, but we'll sort it out, okay? So once your buttercream is out of the freezer and you're mixing it, just do this in 10-second intervals, okay? You don't want to do it for longer than that because you don't want to get it too soft. Very nice buttercream. Go ahead and share this live video for me, please. Don't worry, very soon I'm going to sort out all of my live issues. I'm going to sort out all of my live issues. So whenever I'm going live on YouTube or TikTok, then everything will be fine. These lives, they've been ended so many times today. I'm really sorry about that. It's definitely not intentional. So I'm happy with the consistency of this buttercream. What you need to remember, guys, at every stage of your cake decorating, you need a different consistency. A different consistency of the buttercream. So for my stacking and filling, I need the buttercream to be a little bit smooth but on the firmer side. If it is too soft, the cake layers will be wibbly wobbly, and we don't want that, okay? So this cake is going to be filled with some cookie butter filling. This is it, Biscoff, nice filling. It pairs very well with vanilla cakes, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Let me just get my cake layers. So these are the layers. This is some simple syrup. If you don't know what simple syrup is equal parts water with equal part granulated sugar. You bring it to a boil and you let the sugar dissolve, okay? Go ahead and share the live video, guys. So what I'm doing, I pop a little bit of it in the microwave for a few seconds just to warm it up a bit, and then I'll pour it in that one because it was in the fridge. Okay, so this is a little bit warm, and what I'm gonna do now, thank you for joining, thank you guys so much for liking. I'll pour the little warm bit inside this one that's a bit cold, because you don't want to put the cold simple syrup on the cake layers, okay? So I'm happy with this now. You will find me. We're going to do cake number 1. This is a offset spatula. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. This is a offset spatula. This is what an offset spatula looks like. It has the dip in the middle here, and like so. This is what I use to spread the buttercream on my cakes. This cake is going to be filled with this lovely Biscoff filling. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to also put some crushed up Biscoff in the center as well. It's going to be so good. Whenever I open my biscuits or anything, I keep them tied up, because you know, if too much air gets onto the biscuits, they'll get too soft. I'm going to pop this in the microwave just to melt it a bit. Welcome back. Just to melt it a bit. Remember, when you get these containers, they come with this foil paper around the edge. Before you put this glass jar in the microwave, you need to carefully peel away the foil paper. If you put it in the microwave with the foil, it can cause a fire. Okay? It can cause a fire. So make sure to not put it in there with it. Sorry. Okay, good. I'll put this in the microwave now. Okay, sugar. Have a good night. Rest well, okay? Thank you. Mwah. So I put it in there for like 20 seconds. 20 seconds, okay? I love me some cakes too. So 15 seconds is good enough. It's nice and soft, and I can scoop it out. Look at this. You see, very runny, very nice and soft. This is the consistency I want it to be. So that's the first thing. Any plans for the bank holiday? I don't really have any plans actually. No. I'm sorting things out to film some videos. I'm going to be doing some online courses, like videos for my cake recipes, because a lot of people tend to learn better by watching video tutorials. So I'm trying to create some video tutorials for my recipes. All right, so this is the first layer of cake. The cakes are so soft and nice, and I love them. So we're going to get the first layer of cake and pop it down on the cake board. You don't have to cut off any of the tops, but if you want to, you can go ahead and do that. Like if you want to cut off any rough edges or anything. I personally believe that these little rough edges sometimes add some crunch and some texture to the cake. So normally I don't cut them off. But if you want to, this is how you do it. Just go ahead and do it and get things nice and leveled, okay? Where is my bottle? So this is the container just now. Please, what is in the bottle? Is this bottle you're talking about, darling? So this is simple syrup. Simple syrup is equal part water with equal part granulated sugar. You bring it to a boil just to dissolve the sugar, and you can use it to soak your cake layers. The cakes are already very nice and moist. I'm not going to add a whole lot to it. I'm going to be adding now a nice thin layer. The other bottle. Is it this jar that you're talking about? This is a cookie butter filling or cookie butter spread. I'll just add it to this cake. So this is my buttercream. I'm adding a thin layer of buttercream. When you put a bit of the buttercream on the middle of the cake, you're just going to use your offset spatula. Try not to touch the cake itself. If you touch the cake, you're going to be waking up too much crumb and let your filling be too crummy. So just put a little bit of the buttercream on and just spread the buttercream out, okay? That's the reason why you need a very good turntable. When you have a good turntable working with, you can move things around and just spread things out, all right? Without much difficulties. So when you have good tools working with, it makes the job a lot easier. I'm not going to put in a lot of filling, just a small amount. And that's it. When you're building your cake, you keep your eyes on it. You need to get it nice and straight and level from the beginning. So from the get-go, things need to be nice and straight. I think I have a lot of tips, darling. What type of cake are you thinking of? But what you can do, you can send me a message over on Instagram or anywhere. Just send me a message. Let me know the type of cake that you're planning on making. And then I can guide you based on that, okay? I'm always very happy and willing to help, all right? But just to let you know, for the future, I do offer physical cake baking and decorating classes, and I do offer them online as well. So just for future. But yeah, I'm sure your daughter would be really, really happy if you made her 18th birthday cake. That would be so cute. I plan on making my daughter's birthday cake until she's old enough to say mommy. You need to stop making my birthday cakes. Why are you making me birthday cakes? So this is how I'm applying the cookie butter filling. And I'm just going to break up a cookie on it just to add some crunch. All right, not a lot, just one cookie between each layer, just to add a little crunch. And this is the same Biscoff cookie. All right, the same cookie, just to add a little crunch to the whole thing. You are most welcome. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. My YouTube viewers, if you have any questions, please ask them and I'll answer them, okay? I'm going to go ahead now and add the second layer. As I said, I normally don't cut off the excess edges, so I'm just going to leave it. I just did the first one to show you. And as you can see, my cakes are fairly flat. You see how nice and even they rise? They are so flat. There's nothing to cut away from it. Put down the second layer. Before I do that, I normally like to put a little bit of buttercream on top of this one, just to hold it in place on the next cake. All right. I'm gonna go ahead now and push things down. And I'll take these off. Go ahead again, add a little bit of simple syrup if you want to. The cake is already nice and soft, so you don't have to. You are welcome. All right, I'll repeat the same steps. I'm looking at my cakes, they're looking nice and flat. I'm not concerned about how level they are at all. But if you are, you can get a leveling tool. So this is a cute little leveling tool that you can use to put on top of your cakes to see if you're building them nice and straight. Very important to ensure that your cakes are sitting straight, okay? Ta-da. How did you make the syrup? It's equal parts. Say if you have 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of water, put it in a saucepan, put it on the stove, let it come to a boil until the sugar dissolves, and that's it. You can also add flavoring to it. See if you want to add some vanilla. So once I'm done and I'm filling the lemon cakes, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon extract to this to add to the next cakes. All right. This is so nice between cakes, guys. If you've never tried it before, I urge you to. It's so good. You are welcome. I'm just crushing up 1 little cookie between it just to add some crunch. Ooh. If you're not yet following me, guys, go ahead and hit the follow button, okay? I'll just drizzle some more of it on top. Oh my gosh. I could just eat into this cake right now. Thank you, sugar. Thank you so much. All right, if you weren't listening before, make sure you're listening now. Before you put your last layer on your cake, you need to ensure that you're putting it upside down. So the part of the cake that was touching the base of the cake tin should be the part facing upwards. That is the flattest part, and it will ensure that you get your cake as flat as possible. What is that? Hello, lovely Anne-Marie. It's the Biscoff spread. See? Biscoff spread. Only 700 likes. I thought you guys liked me. What's happening? We should be at least 5,000 likes. Come on. YouTube, TikTok not going on right at all. You can't believe 120 people and only 700 likes. So before I put the final layer on, I'm going to put a little bit of buttercream on it just for it to hold on to this filling, okay? And I'm inverting it. These cake layers are so soft. Like, they're so soft. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to put my leveling tool on just to check that my cake is sitting nice and leveled, okay? And all this leveling tool works, it has a bubble. So if the bubble is in the middle, then the cake is leveled. So if it is going towards the left too much, you can push down on the left side of the cake to center it. Just push down a little. If it's going towards the right too much, you push down towards the right of the cake. So mine is not very leveled. It's going towards the left. So I'm going to push down a little. Just a little. And it's sitting nice and level now. I'm happy. What I'm going to do now, all of this cling film that I took off the cake, I'm just going to use it to wrap around the cake. Just to carefully wrap around the cake. I have enough. They're not dirty. These are what the cake layers were in. Just to wrap around. And what I'm going to do now, my cake layers are soft. The filling is soft. I'm going to pop this in the freezer for a few minutes just to firm up everything before I go ahead and crumb coat the cake. So while this is in the freezer, we're going to fill the next cake layers, okay? I'm going to put this in the freezer and I'll be back in just a minute. Get the likes going up, my TikTok viewers. Thank you so much and help me to achieve my life goals, okay? I'll be back in just a minute. Then we'll start working on the next cakes. Okay. Thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. All right, we're done with this filling now. So let me just scrape it off because we don't want to waste anything, okay? Tomorrow I'm going to be making some cookies, some chunky Biscoff cookies. I'm sorting out the menu for my TikTok shop and I want everything to be nice and right. Do you guys remember not long ago when I posted a TikTok video and I said that I'll send a gift to the person with the best answer? So when I make these cookies, I'm going to select one person from that video. It's some time ago. I know you guys thought I forgot about it, but when I make these chunky cookies, I'll send a batch out to that person. So while I'm developing the menu for my TikTok shop, I'll be randomly selecting amazing viewers and just send out samples too, so you guys can tell me what you think. And please, not because I sample them free. If them don't taste good, you all need to tell me, okay? I know when people get things for free, they feel as if they're obligated to say that they're nice and they're delicious and they're this and they're that. I'm developing a menu, so if you don't like something, nothing is wrong to give me your honest opinion, okay? Don't feel pressured. All right, we are going to get started on the next cake. So I'm going to be doing cake slices. I'm going to be doing cake jars and cookies. Don't worry, sweet creation. I got something for you, okay? Got something for you. So I'm going to be doing cake jars. I'm going to be doing cookies and cake slices. That's what I'm going to start with. Over time though, I want to add a bit of my tradition to my TikTok shop. So I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with some of the treats that are back home. So like Greater Cake, you know, that red and white coconut treat. You know, gizzardo, that little pastry crust with the coconut filling, and some like drops. Yeah, so I want to add a bit of my culture to my TikTok shop, you know, just to be a bit different. And let us see, maybe my daddy will teach me how to make bulla properly. And I'll add some bulla to the TikTok shop as well. Bulla cake, yes. So let us see, but I'm working on it. The next cake flavor we're moving on to is our lemon cake. Okay, lemon or lemon cake. Let me just give this a little wash. Oh my gosh, but almost dropped one up on our head a while ago. We almost dropped one up on our head a while ago, you can believe. Hi my YouTube viewers. Remember, if you have any questions, you need to ask them, okay? I think I need a little bit more. So these are the cake layers. So as I mentioned earlier, what are cake jars? Oh, it's not a silly question, darling. A lot of people are not familiar with it. It's basically cake in a jar. So cake, they normally crumble up the cake, put some cake in, put some buttercream, some filling, something crunchy, another layer of cake, repeat the process until the jar is full. Just send me a message, sugar. Just send me a message with your telephone number. Just tell me a little about you, nothing much. Show your name. Like, you know, on TikTok, you're the gift. So if your name is Shanice, say, hi, I'm Shanice. I'm from New York. My telephone number is, I'd like to be added to your WhatsApp cake group. And that's it. I'll just take a look at your TikTok page, you know, just to get an idea of who you are. And then I'll add it to the group. Nothing, no biggie. What's the difference between frosting and icing? I get that question a lot. I think what people call icing is like royal icing. It was commonly used on a lot of cakes way back when, like wedding cakes and so. No, they mainly use it to decorate like cookies and so. And that's okay, sugar. Just send me one of your cakes, whatever. That's fine. And then frosting is buttercream frosting or buttercream. I don't even think buttercream is frosting. Sweet creation, somebody help me out here. I'm not answering this question correctly. Oh, congratulations. That's so sweet. So this is my simple syrup, guys. I'm going to be adding lemon extract to it. As I said before, you can flavor your simple syrup. These are some lemon cake layers. I want the lemon flavor to be intense. I want it to be all lemony. With every bite, you should get a fresh woof of lemon flavor, okay? That's what my client asked for, and that's what she'll be getting. For this cake, I want it to be a little bit tall, so I'm going with 4 layers of cakes instead of 3 layers, okay? So I'm going to be adding a little bit. I don't want it to be too much, just a little bit of lemon extract to my simple syrup. I'll give it a little shake now. Just a little shake. I'll squeeze this up. Oh my gosh, it's so lemony. So it has a lot of holes on it. So when I'm squeezing it, it's just bringing the scent towards me. It's so good. All right, let's get into doing this cake. Hi, sugar, how are you? Cake board again. Your first layer of cake, you put down some buttercream just to hold your cake in place. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. Then we're going to get our first cake layer down. Look at that. So good. So all of that lemon just soaked into my layers. So good. I'm gonna go ahead and add my first bit of buttercream. How do you remember which cake is? So I'll use sticky notes. I'll use sticky notes, darling. But yeah, I've done it before where I give one, I wrongly decorated the flavors. So sometimes once they're all crumb coated, you don't remember. But the good thing is that this is going to be taller than the next one. So don't worry. So same thing, we're using the offset spatula to carefully add the buttercream. Now I'm going to go in with a nice layer of lemon curd. Believe me, every bite of this cake that you take, lemon is going to be hitting you left, right, and center. My buttercream is an egg white based buttercream. All of my recipes are available for sale on my website at a very reasonable cost. They're so delicious. You won't even remember how much you paid for them. You're gonna just be like, you know what, it was worth it. And that's it. So this was just a quality control check, okay? That little trim I did just now, it was just a quality control check. My simple syrup in again. Just spin your turntable, keep your offset spatula nice and straight to get your cake nice and flat. That's a brilliant idea. Did you hear that, guys? Use a toothpick with a bit of color to stick into the cake so that you know what cake is whose. That's a good idea. You don't want to put too much soft filling in the cake, guys. If it is too much, your layers will be sliding apart, and you don't want that. This one look like it soon starts sliding already. There is a moth. I hate these things so much. How the hell did it get inside here? All right. Next layer of cake is down. What I'm going to do now, guys, I want to add a fourth layer on. But before I do that, I'm going to pop this in the freezer just for these to firm up. If you build too high with the soft filling inside the cake, then the cake is gonna start sliding off each other. And I don't want to deal with that mess right now of the cake layers sliding off each other. So to prevent having to deal with that, pop your cakes in the freezer for like 5 minutes, just for the filling that's already there to firm up, and you continue building on your cakes. I'm going to go ahead, pop this in the freezer. While it's firming up, I'll take out the next cake and apply the crumb coat. Can you repeat, please? Repeat what, darling? I said quite a bit just now. Which part of it would you like me to repeat? Let me just quickly go pop this in the freezer and take out the next cake, all right? So this is cake number 1. Let me just get rid of all of these crumbs. Let me go give my hands a little wash. Okay, I'll tell you in a minute. So I was saying, when you're putting soft fillings inside of your cakes, you need to be careful when you're stacking them and not overfill with the soft filling, because the cake layers will slide off each other. So if you recall me mentioning earlier that at every stage of the cake decorating process, you need a different consistency of the buttercream to work with. I'm going to go ahead and soften this buttercream a little to make it a bit softer to apply my crumb coat. Thank you so much for the rose. I really appreciate it. All right. This buttercream is still a little bit firm. It was in the freezer. So I'm cutting it up. So I'll give this buttercream like 20 seconds in the microwave just to soften the consistency of it, okay? "20 seconds and it should be fine." This lemon cake is so good. So good. So you need to mix up your buttercream. Yes, thank you so much. Guys, let us get to 10K likes. Come on. All right, I'm happy with the consistency of this buttercream. Going to go ahead now and add my crumb coat. By the way, if you're close to the walking area, I do have cake slices available for the weekend. 2 lemon slices left. So if you want to grab those 2 slices, you let me know. They're £7 per slices. Very cheap. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now. Thank you for the gift. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, what is a crumb coat? So if you're on YouTube or TikTok, drop a comment and let me know, what is a crumb coat? Thank you so much. So what I'm doing here, this is a crumb coat. My buttercream recipe is on my website, darling. It's for £15. Believe me, it's well worth it. You are gonna love it, okay? That's correct, sugar. It's a thin layer of buttercream, the first layer of buttercream that you apply to your cake, just to trap in all of the crumb. You see how this layer crummy? Imagine if you didn't do this crumb coat and you're presenting your cake like this with all of these crumbs skinning them teeth like it's Christmas. We don't want any cake crumbs laughing through our cake. And whenever you're crumb coating from a big bowl, like what I'm doing here, you have to be careful not to get any crumbs back into your mix, okay? Oh my gosh. All right. So this is the crumb coat. That's it. That's it. No biggie about it. That's just it. This cake is going to be a very cute blue color, I think. So as you're crumb coating, you're going to see the spots that needs to be filled in a little, and you do it. Thank you. You hear that, guys? I'm a good teacher. As you're crumb coating a cake, you see, you need to try and straighten it up. Straighten up everything as you go along, alright? When you finish crumb coating, your cake should be standing straight. These are the scrapers that I use. These are the ones I love to use. Just these little plastic scrapers. I love them. They give me perfect finishes on my cakes. And that's what I want. So remember, this buttercream that's on the spatula, I always try to finish it on the crumb coat because I can't put it back in that bowl. it is full of crumb, and you don't want those crumbs getting into your cakes, all right? Getting into your final buttercream. We're going to try to create some cute little sharp edges now. Take your time, don't rush this step. Just take your time and get it as nice and sharp as you can. As I said before, this is the foundation of cake decorating. These are the basic steps, and if you're wanting to go into cake decorating, please try to master this stage, okay? I have a very detailed video with the filling crumb coating stage on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out to get some more information. And remember, if you have any cake baking or decorating questions, send them to me. I'm doing a weekly question and answer session for YouTube, okay? And if I don't have any questions to answer, I won't be able to upload these videos. So make sure to send in your questions. This is it. This is my crumb coat. That's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead, I'll put this cake in the fridge because I'm not going to be doing anything else to it tonight. These cakes are going out on Saturday, so I'm not doing anything else to this cake tonight. I'll go put it in the fridge. It will set up overnight. Tomorrow we'll make all the decorations and fully decorate the cake. So it depends on the length of time you want to keep your buttercream. My buttercream is an egg white based buttercream. It's a mock Swiss buttercream. I can keep it in the fridge for up to 2 weeks, but I almost always freeze my buttercream. They stay in the freezer for up to 6 months and doesn't compromise the quality of the buttercream. And they're easily defrosted. You just take them out a few hours before they get soft. You pop them in the microwave at 10-second intervals, and you just whip them up with a spatula and they're ready to go. It's not a lot of work. This is going in the fridge until tomorrow. I'm gonna go and grab the next cake now. This cake is still soft, so it needs a little time. I got money. I got some money in my account just now. Look at me. All right. So this is some lemon cake layers. If you're just joining me and you don't know what's happening between the fridge and the freezer. Oh, I did answer that question. Did you get the answer, Sugar? The question that's pinned, I did answer it. So I'd rather to store it in the freezer. My cake layers are still shifting a little bit. 10K, thank you guys so much. The cake layers are still shifting a little bit, so I just put a little bit of buttercream on this cake layer so that it sandwiches well with that and the filling is in the middle. Remember to always invert the final layer. As you can see, this is a mighty tall cake. What I'm gonna do, I'm not even going to attempt to crumb coat this cake tonight because it will shift. And you want to, as best as possible, keep your cakes nice and straight. This is nice and straight. It's standing perfectly. So, while it is nice and straight, I'm going to go ahead and insert a straw all the way down. So this straw is acting as a center dowel. I don't put it in my cakes when they are not tall, but this is a fairly tall cake. Let me tell you how tall it is. It is 8 inches in height. So it's a bit taller than my standard cakes. So I'm going to leave it like this and I'll wrap it with some cling film and put it back in the freezer. By the time I'm finished cleaning up the kitchen, I'll take it out of the freezer and leave it in the fridge until in the morning. In the morning, I'll apply a crumb coat to it. I won't come on live to crumb coat it. I'll just do a video for you guys, okay? But you want to keep this nice and straight. If I attempt to crumb coat this cake now, it will just slide off each other, and we don't want that. That's the last thing we want to have to deal with right now. Cake layers sliding all over the place. So I'm wrapping it so many times because I'm going to put it in the freezer. So it's leveled at the sides and it leveled at the top. This cake will now go in my freezer until I'm done cleaning up. Why not put a stick in to hold it in place? So I've already inserted a straw, but it has a soft filling in. So even though something is inside there, if I attempt to crumb coat it now, the filling will start seeping out through the side. So I just want to let it firm up first before I go ahead and do anything else to it. All right, I maybe even crumb coat it before I go to bed because I'm going to clean up the kitchen now. The kitchen is a hot mess. So I'm going to clean up now. That's the whole thing with baking. You bake, you clean, you bake, you clean, you bake, you clean. So it's nice and straight. I don't want to disturb it. I'll know them differently because this one is very tall and the next one is a little bit shorter. I'll be back. You can just pop any final questions that you have on the screen. I'll answer them before I go. Get the likes going up a little bit and help me to achieve my life goals. Thank you so much. I'm from Jamaica. So, I'll be back. All right, I'm going to end the YouTube live because I'm just going to be cleaning up now. I'm sure you guys don't want to see that. But I have my regular peeps on TikTok that will stay with me. And I'll just answer some more questions. So thank you guys so much for joining. I just went through filling, stacking, and crumb coating. And I explained to you all the importance of containing your soft fillings inside of your cakes. Remember, if your cakes are taller than 3 layers, try to insert a center dowel just to keep your cakes in place. If you're putting in a very soft filling, like maybe a strawberry compote or something like that, create a buttercream dam before you put your soft fillings in. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comment section and I will answer them. Until next time, keep on baking.